Well, today I got asked, what is Alanon? And, sorry for the, disheveled way that I look. It's been a day. Alanon is a 12-step program, like AA. There's AA, there's NA, there's Codependence Anonymous. There's all kinds of 12-step programs, but Alanon was founded by the wife of the man who founded AA. And he found that what helped him not to drink was to have meetings with other alcoholics who were also trying not to drink. And what she found was that his disease, because she could not control it, drove her to insanity. And she did not realize all of the problems she was creating and how she was contributing to his disease and becoming crazy herself just by dealing with his craziness. We have to come to realize that we are part of the problem and that dysfunction cannot happen in a vacuum. It doesn't just exist from one person. It takes a group to create dysfunction. And because it started with someone, it's easy to blame that someone and not realize how you are making it worse. So if we start to look at alcoholism as a disease, which is what it is, and stop blaming the individual, then we can see it for the first time as a family disease and realize that we are a part of it and we're not innocent bystanders, and that we have enabled and tried to force solutions, and in doing so have acted in ways that are sometimes even crazier than the alcoholic, just out of trying to control it, and we can't. So that is why in 12-step programs, they add the part of a higher power, because you have to realize that you're not in control. And there is something greater than you that is. And sometimes you have to just give up control to the powers that be. And you can be restored to sanity through realizing this. The last couple videos I did were on like manifestation, kind of, sort of like creating your own reality, realizing that you can speak into a situation and have it improve just by virtue of believing it can get better. I'm actually somewhat new to actually trying the idea of that out. I mean, I've tried it before, but not like consciously, I think. It's happened just by me believing that something good could happen, and then I realized later what I was doing. But I've actually started to look at videos and stuff of this thing called manifestation, or that's what people are calling it, but really prayer and faith are the same thing, if you think about it. But those are new concepts, kind of, to me, and I'm still working on mastering them. But this AA, Alanon, codependent, not forcing solutions, detaching from situations thing is something that I have been working on for quite some time now. And I know a lot about at this point. I'm not saying I'm perfect at it. Definitely not. I have to work at it constantly. And stay in the program. And even when I'm not in the program, keep reading the literature, keep it fresh in my mind, because I have to do it day by day, just like an alcoholic does. I can't force them to change. I have to change myself. You have to be the change that you want to see in the world, and realize that it's not just a saying, but actually have it click. And I just wanted to say that this is an idea that I've been thinking of for many, many years, that I truly believe in. And that is the idea of not blaming each other. If something traumatic happens, if something horrible occurs that someone does that you know closely and has affected your life, you cannot blame them for the situation, because that blame is immediately shared by you once you start doing that, because you see how your actions change and you become this person that you know is not your best self and that you were never meant to be. So, I've thought for a long time also that this blame game thing that the world does, that we all do, that we have to watch out for and try not to do, happens on all kinds of different scales. Racism, sexism, even from country to country. The US thinking that we have all the answers and can tell everyone what to do. As soon as you think you have all the answers and can tell everyone what to do, you're immediately the wrongest one in the room. So that's why we have to change our own situations in our own living room before we go looking at the news and trying to run for office and all these things, because really, you can't change things on a large scale unless you have changed things in your own living room. And if you're still blaming the other person, then you are just as much the problem, if not more of a problem, than the person who the problem originated with. Now, that's a step further from what I've been thinking all these years, and we should just stop blaming each other for everything, because my family always did that. They would always blame the other person. Oh, it's your fault. Oh, it's your fault. And, not only does that not help things, but it goes nowhere. And it just perpetuates more problems, and the problem gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And both of you are wrong. And, I've been stuck in that cycle before too, And we have to just realize that we're all human and we all make mistakes, even if you keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again. That person has some sort of deficit, and you have to meet it with compassion rather than, well, I guess you deserve to be punished. Because as soon as you think that, and as soon as you attempt to enforce that or try to, make that happen or whatever, then you suddenly become part of the problem. Or if you enable the problem and you don't see reality and don't want to admit to it because your mind is safer not being in reality and denying it,